serious consumer, if you were actually looking to implement something that you could live with for the next 5 years, you've really only got the choice of 4 or 5 distributions that you can have confidence that that will be true. There's Debian, there's still Slackware, Pat Volkerding is still doing a good job with it. There's Mandrake, there's SUSE, there's Red Hat, and then where do you go? There might be a couple of others. But the beauty of it is if none of those 5 solve your unique problem, there are a whole bunch of other engineering teams. There's the Yellow Dog team who will port Linux to the Mac for you if that's what you need.
Open source in the developing world, how does open source penetrate in there?
This was actually, goes back to one of our very early board meetings at Red Hat, just after we took our first round of venture capital in, and one of our directors, after Marc and I were talking about, how are we going to get the MIS directors to listen to us? And this financial director sat back and he said, guys, you're wasting your time. Don't waste your time with the MIS director. Go talk to the chief financial officer, because your solution is so much more cost effective than any of the other solutions. So, the cost effective marketplaces, whether it's in China, whether it's in Africa, we're going to get those. Everyone who's looking to do something sophisticated with a computer. And this goes back, the reason I have confidence on this, I actually was talking to a fellow in Romania in 1995, and he was actually one of the very senior guys in the Romanian internet business. He actually ran most of the backbone for Romania. And I said, so what are you running it on? And he looked at me like I was nuts. He's saying, we can't afford anything but Red Hat Linux. Don't you know that? Like, it was sort of painfully obvious to him that this was the only solution that was cost effective for what they were trying to do.
Bob, can we get some comments from you on the SCO case?
Not really, no. Unfortunately, I'm as a director of Red Hat, and there is a legal issue extending between Red Hat and SCO. I can't give you anything specific. The general terms of it, though, is there is a real problem in the technology industries, which is the expansion of intellectual property rules are causing more and more of our resources, and this is true for Microsoft and IBM and Red Hat and everyone else, to be devoted to arguing over fine points of who owns what piece of technology. And the SCO case is a great example of an incredible waste of resource. Instead of us serving our customers, we're bickering with each other over, whether there's a line of code somewhere in Linux that SCO actually has some title to. I'll let a judge sort out the reality of it, but there's no question the expansion, applying software patents, applying patents to software is a fundamentally bad idea, but it's now the law of the land in the United States. Taking copyright from its original 20 years to now most of 100 years is a fundamentally bad idea, but it's the law of the land. You'll buy me a beer and you'll get a longer answer to that one.
I'll make a plan. Bob, I have to ask you, when do you foresee that open source will win the battle over proprietary software?
Well, the neat thing about open source is that it's all about openness and open markets, and that's how our democracies work. And the more openness in our free market democracies, the healthier they run. And if you need sort of theory behind this, go back and study Adam Smith and his invisible hand of the market concepts, from the 1700s. And it's a little bit what we're doing with Lulu as well. Is the beauty of the internet is for all major corporations are trying to wrap things up as tightly as they can for the benefit of themselves and their investors. What open source represents and what the internet enables is this great one-to-one experience. So eBay allows you to bring your whatever, South African voodoo doll or diamonds, if you're De Beers, directly to the consumer. And it allows publishers or software developers to bring their product to market through places like Lulu or Amazon. And it allows Red Hat, obviously, to build products publicly across the internet.
Bob, thank you so much for joining us here at GoPen. It was really interesting chatting to you.
Hey, thanks, Mark, and good luck with the Go Open project. It sounds fascinating.
Thank you.